Hi, this is Matthew Piaro, editor of Canadian Cycling Magazine. I'm here with Mike Garrigan, Canadian national cyclocross champion, and he's in the Czech Republic. He's in Tabor, and he's getting ready for this Sunday's Elite Men's cyclocross race. How's it going, Mike?
Oh, it's going well. Yeah.
What are the conditions like there in the Czech Republic?
I mean, we're like right on freezing. So the last few days, it's been kind of mucky and slippy in the afternoon because it thaws out. But today was the first day that it never really dropped below freezing, and the course is actually tightening up a little bit, getting slippy in some spots, and getting a little bit faster. But yeah, it's like gray and kind of wintry, dreary. But it's good. I mean, people are excited. I didn't personally ride today, but I went over to the course and had a look, and everyone seemed pretty excited about it for sure.
So it's pretty nice cyclocross weather, I guess.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's what we signed up for. I was joking with some friends on the way here. We were getting texts, and it's like, there's snow in Tabor, and we're like, well, I mean, you would send a text if there wasn't snow in Tabor. Like everyone was expecting this, and this is what everyone should be ready for. So yeah, it's cross weather.
Right on. So I'm gonna pull up some video, and I'm just wondering if you could speak to it for a bit. What are we looking at here?
Oh, that was when Helen Wyman I often travel with, and we went out for a loop and just having some fun. We were first on course. I think it was just like us, Katarina Nash, and a couple local like U23s on the course on Tuesday, or this is Wednesday. And yeah, we're just riding around, and things were pretty firm then, just because it was midday and it was a bit cooler. But there's already getting to be some ruts and stuff you can see just from the locals riding, and they know what they're doing. So you can imagine by now the ruts are almost hub deep, and it's pretty rough and rowdy on some of the corners.
Yeah, and you put up another video yesterday, which I'm gonna see if I can pull up here. And you had a comment on Facebook, I believe, about the choosing the lines and how that was going. Can you
Yeah.
some of your thoughts on choosing lines?
Well, I feel like maybe I'm getting old enough now. I'm no longer embarrassed with, I don't know, I guess what I'm trying to say is in my younger years, I probably wouldn't have posted this video just because I'm riding so horribly. But yeah, I just got off the trainer and went for a loop and put a camera on and just riding around the course. And you can see it was pretty heavy yesterday. Like I tried to put wattage on there, but I'm such a rookie with this stuff. Hopefully by the end of the week, I'll have myself sorted out and I can get all the data. But yeah, it's like the camera really doesn't do it justice. Like as soon as you go below 300 watts, you kind of stop, especially on the uphill drags. You can't really tell, but on the back half of the course, it's kind of like it's probably like a 7% grade, and it's quite heavy. So if you're not pushing hard, then you're not going anywhere. But yeah, it's fun. But yeah, I think my comment was like, yeah, I got to sort out the lines or whatever. And at the end of that video, you can see that I meet up with Helen again. We went out and sorted it out. Yeah.
Great. So that sounds like excellent prep for Sunday. Now you're going to be wearing the national champions jersey, which you won in Winnipeg in October. But this isn't your first time at a World Championships, a World Cyclocross Championships, wearing the maple leaf. What's the significance of that?
Well, yeah, I'll just be wearing national team kit. But the significance of wearing the national champion jersey while I'm over here, is that more of the question? Because I'll just be wearing the international team.
Okay, well,
but yeah, I mean, it's really cool. It's yeah, I'm starting to get to know like some of the characters over here. So they come up to me and they're like, "Congratulations, you won nationals," and blah blah blah, and yeah, that's cool. But I mean, it doesn't change a lot. Yeah, it's just bike racing.
Right on. And you're up against a pretty tough field on Sunday. What are some of your expectations for the race?
Oh, uh, yeah, just go out there and just like push as hard as I can. That's all you can do. I mean, in these races, you can't, or I personally can't put a goal on like a certain result or whatever. I think last year I was 50th or 49th, and I mean, I was riding around doing pretty well, and I remember mid race was like, oh, I think I have a top 40 in me, and then I had a little crash, and then I didn't, you know, I didn't know whether I should be disappointed now that I'm fighting for maybe a top 50. That I don't. Let's put it this way: I'm going to be happy as long as I come to the race prepared and everything goes smoothly and I'm riding well. Yeah, that's it.
All right, that does sound like a very good plan. I'm going to pull up another picture here. It's of some people that you will be at the race with. Um, Now, Canada has quite a large juniors contingent there.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to struggle with the picture here. And
Curious what you've got.
here we are. So,
Oh, there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's after Hoogerheide.
Yeah. And then, so who do we see in this picture?
Well, I mean, this is just the Canadian boys. So we've got the juniors, and then you can see Danik to my right is the sole U23 rider, and everyone's pretty stoked. And I just asked after the race last week if I could get a picture with the young guns. Willem's the only one that's not there. It's another junior. But yeah, it's just that's the Canadian crew, except for this. So I just wanted to get a picture with those guys.
And what can these guys expect on their races this weekend?
I actually think if the conditions tighten up and it stays a little bit colder, that our boys will be better off because it'll be a little bit slipperier and not quite so watt dependent. I think last week was probably a shocker for some of them just because of the fitness demand of riding in the mud, and just turns into this like massive tractor pull. And the kids over here are just so used to riding in mud like that. So if it freezes, I think they'll fare all right, and they'll just keep their elbows out and take the insides of the corners. And I think in pre-ride already they're learning how to ride the ruts a little bit better. But yeah, I know they know how to keep their elbows out. We're sharing a hotel with the Italian team, and we're sharing like a dinner platter. And supposedly there was like a big kind of like coach fight after, because like the Canadian juniors and the Italian juniors, they were like fighting who like ate more, because I came down like maybe 10 minutes after to try to miss the line, and there was no food left. Go on. So I was like, oh, okay, and had a little bit of rice and some scraps of some tomato sauce and stuff, and they started getting at each other. So anyway, I'm confident that our boys know how to keep their elbows out. And
I find that hilarious that even at the dinner lineup, there's a bit of competition. And
oh yeah. No, I got a message from one of them saying they totally chopped us in the line, and so tonight the hotel has like actually segregated us and put out 2 different hot plates.
To keep, is it just to keep the Canadians and the Italians separated, or are there any other factions out there?
No, that's it. Just us, Canadians, Italians. Done.
Well, there you go. Well, we hope it doesn't escalate to an international incident there in the Czech Republic. Do you have any advice for these juniors? Like you've raced in Europe more than many of them have. What are some tips that you might give them?
I mean, just to think about it like it's just a bike race at home. I know that the competition's really steep, but you can tell that some people come and they're pretty wide-eyed and they're kind of shell-shocked with everything. Like just the fact that they're driving to the course and the road's so narrow and everything's weird, and that seems to throw some of the guys off. But if they can just think about it like just another bike race and just get on the start line. Like these guys, although they haven't been over here very much, they've certainly been in a lot of bike races, so they know how to clip in, get going, and get out there and race.
For sure, for sure, and it'll be a good experience for them when they come back for future World Cups, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Championships.
that's the main thing. They're just learning life skills and showing up to the hotel and realizing there's no like laundry machine, and learning how to hand wash and learning how to refrigerate your food out your window and stuff like that. So I'm able to give them a few life tips, but as far as like bike racing, it's not rocket science.
Now, you've had a lot of bike racing yourself this season. You did a lot of North American races in the fall, and then you went to nationals, and then I think there was one or two more races in North America, and then you came to Europe, and you had some bad luck. Actually, was it before you came to Europe that you had some bad luck?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much right after nationals, I was really excited to do well at nationals and wanted to get going right away with heavy training load, and immediately I had a knee problem, and I was like, okay, so I had to take a bit of time off, and then that was like a month. Once I got going again, immediately I crashed and I broke my nose, and I think we thought I had a crack in like the orbital bone just below my eye, but I didn't have double vision or anything, and so anyway, I played it safe, took another week and a half off, and then it was right into the European season. So yeah, so that kind of like slowed me down a little bit. Yeah.
And then how has it been for you getting back into the European season?
Oh, I mean, as far as like being here and just like getting into the routine, no problems at all. Like I skipped a couple races that I had planned to do in Belgium. So that was kind of unfortunate, but I was training in Hungary for a few weeks in Budapest. That's where my wife's family's from, and it's beautiful riding around there. Problems at all. Great roads, good training. Then went to Belgium. Got one race in before the World Cup in Hoogerheide, and just like absolutely got destroyed. I just sucked. But it was good to go to the race and just go through the motions and, you know, catch up with friends and just get my equipment sorted out for the mud, because it was just like full on tractor pull. Yeah, that's it. World Cup went by, and now we're here.
And now we're here. And there's the race Sunday, and then after that race, what is your plan for, say, February?
Yeah, so right after the race, I'm going to take a week pretty light back in Hungary, and then I'll be in Croatia for another week training. I'm getting some things set up for the summer, and then actually I've got some more racing in Belgium. So I'm going to go back to Belgium, and I've been invited to go on a few races there. One on the 14th, one on the 21st, and one on the 22nd. So I'll be racing again right into the end of February. So I'm pretty excited about that, because it kind of gives me a chance to keep training now. Like, I'm running a lot now, and I'm doing intervals, and I'm eating really well and trying to get sleep. So maybe I'm going to be going pretty well in the end of February. But yeah, I'm excited to put those races on my calendar for sure.
Excellent. And then after cyclocross season, will you be mountain biking? What's the plan for the warmer months?
Well, I'm definitely going to be back in Croatia in March. So I don't think I'm going to make it back to North America for camps, unfortunately. There's a couple camps that I really love being part of. But so I'll be in Europe. I don't have plans to race mountain bike. I didn't look into a team or anything, but I've got a lot of things that on the go. I think we've spoke before about a lot of ideas and projects and stuff that I have on the go for the summer. So I'll be working on that, some bike tours in Croatia, and some other stuff at a cafe that I'm trying to get open. So yeah, I'll be busy in the summer. So not a ton of racing, probably some fondos, maybe in Italy and in Slovenia, and some mountain bike racing when I can find it. I'll definitely be back in North America in April. I should have included that for Paris Sandcaster and maybe do Battenkill. But there's no like big mountain bike schedule or anything.
Right. But still, a pretty big schedule with all the projects you've got on the go. Now, before we sign off, there have been some rumors going around that I think would be fun to talk about. The rumor is that Las Vegas and Montreal are looking to host cyclocross World Cups. What would that mean, to say a North American rider like you to be able to ride in possibly Montreal?
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool. But yeah, as far as the rumors of having those two races, assuming it's a go, I think it'd be awesome. Like if they're early season, then it's not going to affect the big series that a lot of the Belgians want to do, like the Super Prestige and the GBA. They're still going to be able to get back for those. And if all of the elites most of the elites are doing the two big races, then it could be fun. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about, I guess, is there's a ton of racers that would probably like to go to those events but won't be allowed to participate. So that could be tough.
So
Right?
how do you mean? Is it the sort of contrast between North America and Europe, where here in North America, many of the big races have that sort of participant-heavy atmosphere,
Yeah.
versus the very professionalized European circuit?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's something that people often don't think about. It's like, wow, World Cup in Montreal, that's amazing. But that means it's a World Cup. That means there's only if you're ranked top 50, you're going to the race, or if you get invited by your nation, you're going to the race. If you're not in the event, will you go and watch? That's a question mark for me, and I'm curious to see if people who don't get to participate, if they'll go and watch, because we've got very different audiences in North America compared to Europe.
No, that's a very good point, and we'll see if these races, possibly if they come, if they can help. I don't know, train North Americans to come out and just watch these races and draw the audience.
Yeah. Everyone's come off their road season, mountain bike season. They're doing local cross, and they can come and just enjoy the spirit and festivities of the event. That's what I would hope for. Yeah.
Well, Mike, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be watching the races this weekend, and best of luck.
Cool, right on, Matthew.
Hey, thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah.